秘密戦隊オレンジャー
Go, go, Power Rangers! Go, go, Power Rangers! Go, go, Power Rangers! Mighty Morphin Power Rangers!
Every episode of Law & Order Special Victims Units opens with the following statement.
In the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous.
Rape is absolutely heinous, and the people who do it in the real world are disgusting, horrible people. And the people who frame others for raping them when they really didn't is just as bad. And because art is inspired by real life, it exists in fiction too. Sometimes it makes sense, such as when our characters are in a setting with a dark tone filled with horrible people. Other times it exists as a character's backstory to establish the kind of troubles life has brought to them and where they are now. And in some of the worst fan fiction, it's almost always used by a bitter fan who hates a character and, as a result, either turns a canonically good character into a rapist. This seems to happen a lot to Ron Weasley from the Harry Potter series for some reason I will never understand. Or a character the author doesn't like gets raped because they want that character to suffer. But I've never seen a character get raped because the author does like this character. Now, fanfictions where a canon character and basically a blank slate the reader can project themselves onto having sex, that's relatively benign as long as the author avatar isn't an intolerable Mary Sue. The key difference tends to be the former mostly gets written in second person and the latter is almost always in the first. But what happened in our most recent chapter is certainly new to me. I mentioned Radiguet as Akizuki's favorite villain, which is the sole reason why he is the big bad here. The sole reason why Radiguet is suddenly able to keep characters on an equal footing with him like Mesogog and the Bowcanger villains, characters who are arguably stronger like Trakina and Bosco, and characters who are without question stronger than him like Long, under control. There's no story reason. It's favoritism. Plain and simple. And I don't understand what it is about Radiguet he loves so much. Lusting after Kimberly, or even some minor things like just enjoying music that Akizuki also happens to like. There's no basis for it in Jetman. None. It's just like with both Takarus. True, they are great fighters in the actual shows where they come from, but that's only part of what he likes about them. It's because he can use them as puppets in order to project his desires for the actresses who play Momoko and Mako. He's claimed that he sees a lot of himself in Mask Man's Takaru, which explains why both of them suddenly are in relationship with their pink comrades, despite the characters not having that kind of relationship in the actual show. And it's because of the actors Akizuki shows interest in, the characters they play are not as important. There's no actual personalities in these characters. Why Momoko and Mako are given interchangeable traits in the story like the fucking bad cooking, but it's most noticeable with Kimberly. It's why she is, out of fucking nowhere, playing the flute, being a singer instead of a gymnast, using bathing as a distraction, why she forgets her morpher. It didn't matter what character Amy Jo Johnson was playing, as long as it was her, Akizuki would be gunning for the character. But why did he go through with projecting himself onto Radiguet of all characters and then have him rape her? The only answer I can come up with is that he got so attached to Radiguet as he was writing that the mentality he used with the two Takarus started flying onto him. It's why I'm convinced that the rape was meant to be enticing. Sure, Radiguet is a villain and he's doing something evil, but because he's projected himself onto the character, it's like he himself is having Amy Jo Johnson in its own sick, twisted way. And in his mind, it would satisfy the critics saying Radiguet is out of character, which is why a suddenly dark twist was thrown in. I imagine if the story continued further, the same probably would have happened with Kiros gunning for Mako. If anything, the Kiros Mako crap was thrown in because I guess Akizuki felt Radiguet going after Amy Jo Johnson and Rin Takanashi would have been too obvious. And this leads to yet another problem. If there wasn't enough problems already, it's pointless. It doesn't advance the plot, there's no character building, and it could be taken out of the story and would actually be better for it. That's how you know it's gratuitous. There's misinterpreting fundamental aspects about a character, and then there's this. Looking at this story, the canonical depictions of any of these characters are not what Akizuki enjoys. It's all about the actors who play them. In some cases, the actor might as well be playing entirely different characters as far as this story is concerned. I could go on, but this has been emotionally draining as it is, and I'm going to need all the strength I can get because not only is next week a two-parter that is yet again ripped from Chris X, but it is also something that I have no doubt Akizuki was dying to do for a long time. Taking Chojun Sentai Jettoman and finally putting them into the fight personally.